Hey guys, let's talk about L'Oreal's new Skin Paradise Tinted SPF Moisturizer. There's really no comparison at all. I can definitely tell what they mean when they're calling this water infused.
Just watch your shades on that, look up swatches. This L'Oreal one will not take the place of my Paula's Choice.
The new L'Oreal Skin Paradise Tinted SPF Moisturizer is billed as a water infused tinted moisturizer. Looking at the ingredients on this, that means it is 70% water. In fairness, I think most of our cosmetic products and hair products and skincare products have a lot of water in them, so the fact that they're just putting it out there front and center doesn't deter me yet. The way that I thought we would go about this is I would pit this against my tried and true Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense Broad Spectrum Tinted SPF Moisturizer that I've used now for a couple of years. So for starters, I'm going to put these on side by side so we can see two things primarily: how it dries down and what the finish is, and what the level of coverage is. And then I'm going to move into a comparison about their sun protection properties, and then you're going to see there's really no comparison at all. But for starters, I want to show you guys the two textures that we're working with.
So here on the left, I have swatched some of the L'Oreal, and you can see it's got a pretty lightweight, watery texture, as you would expect. This here is the Paula's Choice, which is a little bit creamier, but not too much. The textures are actually really very similar.
What I think you'll also notice is that the L'Oreal is definitely warmer in color than the Paula's Choice. I purchased this in shade Fair 01, which surprised me because typically, that is the fairest shade that they sell it in, but you'll see as it goes on my skin here, it's not as fair in porcelain ivory as some of the coolest, lightest foundations that you see. So if you do want to give this a try, that's something to keep in mind. So I'm just going to go in with some on the back of my hand here. I have nothing on my face right now, you guys, except my Clinique Moisture Surge and some concealer under my eyes, obviously a little bit of eye makeup. I will link the products that I used there down below for you. So I'm going to go in with enough to do just the right side of my face with the L'Oreal. And I really do just apply my tinted moisturizer like a lotion. So I'm going to go in and get that rubbed out. It feels a bit lighter than the Paula's Choice. I've been using Paula's Choice for a long time. I can definitely tell what they mean when they're calling this water infused. It feels really light, very bouncy, but look at the coverage that I'm getting on my skin there. The redness that you can still see here on this side of my face is gone on this side of my face. But a very dewy finish, a pretty good light coverage finish, and it rubbed out really well. It blended really nicely. Even there on my chin, you can see kind of where it's covered versus where it isn't. So that's the L'Oreal. Now let's go in with the Paula's Choice product that I've been using for a couple of years. We're gonna do the same thing, just a little bit there on the back of my hand, and we're gonna take this over on this side of my face. So you can see here, I don't want you to get confused thinking that this is like white cast chalkiness. We'll talk about this when we get to the sun protection elements of these products. Paula's Choice is a mineral sunscreen as opposed to a chemical sunscreen. So it does take a little bit longer to sort of absorb into the skin, but it will. You just pat it out and give it a second. Okay, so now we're dried down a little bit more, and I feel like the Paula's Choice doesn't have the same level of coverage as the L'Oreal. So the L'Oreal for me right now is winning in that regard. Also though, the Paula's Choice is definitely supposed to have a light matte finish, whereas the L'Oreal is billed as being very dewy, very watery, very glowy. I think we're seeing that here as well. I've got a really bright light on my face, which is creating kind of a sheen there, but just the sensation of it definitely is a little bit different. Also, despite the difference in the color swatches, I'm actually seeing pretty much the same. Like if I walked out of my house right now with two different products on my face, I don't think anybody would actually notice. So that's really interesting as well. So my initial thought is definitely in keeping with the fact that the L'Oreal product is more cosmetic, while the Paula's Choice is definitely geared more towards skincare than cosmetics coverage. And we're gonna go over here now and talk about exactly why that is.
Okay, now that we've talked about the cosmetic aspects of both of these products, let's go into the sun protection element, because these are, after all, tinted sunscreens. There are two different types of sun rays that we are trying to protect against. You've got the UVA rays and the UVB rays. The easy way I remember these is UVA are the rays that cause aging in the skin, and UVB rays are the ones that cause your skin to burn in the sun. There are lots of different types of sunscreens, both chemical and mineral, that we can use in our products to guard against these rays. So looking at the L'Oreal Skin Paradise product, they have a 3.5% concentration of ensulazole, I think is how you pronounce it. That is a chemical sunscreen that is primarily a defense against UVA rays. So this is not a defense against UVB rays. Looking at the list of ingredients, I didn't see any other sunscreen elements that will protect you from those UVB rays, which when you do have sun exposure, tanning, burning of the skin, that also can cause your skin to age in the long term. So I was a little bit surprised to see that there was only UVA protection in this. Ensulazole is also a chemical sunscreen instead of a mineral sunscreen. When you saw me applying the Paula's Choice and I paused and told you guys that because it was a mineral sunscreen, it took a little bit longer to rub into the skin, that is true. Mineral sunscreens deflect the sun's rays a little bit differently than the chemical ones. Chemical sunscreens tend to sort of absorb the sun's rays like a sponge, whereas the mineral sunscreens will physically deflect the sun's rays. So they operate a little bit differently. They work in skincare a little bit differently, as you saw with the application. Some prefer one over the other, but just know that you are getting a chemical sunscreen in the L'Oreal product. The Paula's Choice, on the other hand, has a 13.5% concentration of zinc oxide, which is a mineral sunscreen. The reason that I fell in love with this product is that even though it's a mineral sunscreen, which often get a bad rap for causing a white cast in photos, for looking chalky, for feeling kind of cakey on the skin, I don't have that problem with this sunscreen. I've worn this sunscreen under my makeup for the last 2 years, so if you've seen me in any videos, this sunscreen is on my face underneath all of my makeup. Additionally, zinc oxide is protective against both UVA and UVB rays, so this is protecting my skin from aging and burning in the sun. So really, it's gonna come down to what you want out of your product. If you are looking for a tinted moisturizer that has good coverage, because let's face it, there are a lot of tinted moisturizers that don't, if you're looking for that with just sun protection being an added bonus, then the L'Oreal product is probably a really good choice for you. If, however, your primary goal is SPF sun protection, then the Paula's Choice is probably better for you. It is skincare rather than cosmetic, so it also has other benefits as well. I will link you guys to this product so you can go and read all of the ingredients and all of the other benefits of this product. So at the end of the day, this L'Oreal product will not be replacing my Paula's Choice sunscreen. For me, it's all about the SPF protection for my skin, both anti-aging and burning, tanning in the sun. However, as a tinted moisturizer, I really do like how this looks on my skin. And again, just watch your shades on that. Look up swatches, Google them. I usually am somewhere in the fair to light range when it comes to foundation colors. And like I said, I was all the way shade Fair 01 in the L'Oreal product. So that's where I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership, as you know, and I will see you in my next video.